Alright guys, welcome back. We are doing episode 2 of the Dawnguard playthrough. I know I'm on my like 30th episode or something. But this goes on. I don't know why I watched this. It was kind of like, I thought it was going to go somewhere. I thought it was going to give us some kind of quest or something, but no, they're just playing around.
Thing for killing vampires. Just take a few shots at those crates over there.
And then he just goes into some kind of shooting crossbows at crates over and over again.
Try it again.
But I wanted to kind of talk about what I thought of Dawnguard as a whole. And right now I'm running around looking for somebody to feed off of because I'm freaked out that I'm going to meet this guy over at I don't know, he wants you to meet you at some cave, and I'm freaked out that I'm gonna be blood starved when I get there, and he's gonna attack me or something, and I'm gonna break the quest. So I am looking for somebody to feed on, but unfortunately there is nobody in this castle that I can find, which sucks. But I hope you guys don't get too ticked off about this, but I do use Vampire Sight quite a bit in this playthrough because there are a lot of dark areas in the game that I don't know if it's just my monitor, my laptop screen, or what, but I can't see real well in a lot of these areas, and I wonder if it's just the contrast or whatever. But Vampire Sight is really handy for me. I use it quite a bit. For some of the areas it's too bright, but these indoor areas it's great. But I kind of wanted to talk about, while I'm running around here, what I kind of thought about Dawnguard, what I kind of thought that they could improve, and all that fun stuff. Dawnguard was a blast. I'm going to tell you this right now, and a lot of people have asked me, you know, should I get the expansion? How does it compare with other expansions? I can't really honestly compare this to other expansions because I did not play Knights of the Nine. I did not play, even though I have it, I got it in the Game of the Year edition on Steam. I did not actually play Oblivion that long to actually play those expansions. And same with Morrowind. I played a little bit of Mournhold, and definitely Solstheim, whatever, however you pronounce it. But I can't really compare this because I've played Skyrim in a way that I haven't played an Elder Scrolls game in a long time. So I would say that, yeah, this is about 10 hours of content. Let's put it this way. And if you liked Skyrim, if you liked the epic questage, almost main story quest type dealios, you'll like this game. You'll like this expansion, and it will provide you a little bit of enjoyment. It gives you a bunch of areas that you can return to and essentially grind for quests and Easter eggs. There's some Easter eggs here, and I'm going to point them out when I see them. Hopefully you guys will pay attention, but definitely in the Soul Cairn, there are some characters that made an appearance in Morrowind there, as well as some other things, some references to very old Elder Scrolls games. I love it when Bethesda does that. I love it when they give you a little nod for the people that played the older games. But after you get done,
Found something for you to do, eh?
who is this guy? What are you talking about? These Dawnguard are tough. They are tough crackers because they will wreck your whole day. At least mine were. I didn't find the actual monsters all that difficult. I didn't find the gargoyles all that challenging, but these Dawnguard guys scale to your level, and you know, 3 and 4 and 5 of them at a time is a challenge for me. And maybe that's just because I'm a lightly armored dude, but that's what I found that interesting. But the Dawnguard are definitely outnumber the vampires. You feel like kind of a hunted guy when you're a vampire. But after you get done talking to that guy, he sends you off to a cave, and I realize that I don't have my follower, and this is kind of an issue. I don't get started on the quest right away. because I'm trying to find my follower. And once again, I believe the last video that I did months ago, my follower disappeared. I had a Dark Brotherhood initiate who was following me around. She had a bunch of stuff, if I recall, ingredients, crafting items, at least a couple thousand gold worth of stuff on her, and she disappeared. She got stuck in a cave somewhere and would not follow me, and I went back and she was gone. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that. But she disappeared, and I figured out that if your partner, your companion, disappears and you don't know how to get them back, get yourself arrested. And that's exactly what I do. However, I believe that my companion is actually dead. She's not just glitched out somewhere. So it didn't help that I got myself arrested. But you're gonna see that. You're gonna laugh and all that fun stuff. I still have Shadowmere, my favorite horse by far. And I'm like, who's shooting at me? there's some guy up there shooting at me. And I'm going, what's going on here? I don't know. There are a number of instances like that in this game where I'm just running through and there's this weird AI glitchy stuff. There's people shooting or attacking just randomly, and it confuses me. It confuzzles me. But when you are a vampire and you choose the vampire side, it spawns Dawnguard on the road sometimes. So you'll be running down the road, you'll be minding your own business, you'll be having a blast, eating cake and whatnot, and these Dawnguard will show up out of nowhere and try to wreck your day. I kind of like that. It's kind of cool flavor-wise, like for the story, but it gets a little old after a while. It's not nearly as annoying as the random dragon events. I'm really close to getting a plugin that just disables dragon events, but I realize I need the souls to do the shouts and stuff, so I don't know. They're just it's so tiresome after you killed one dragon, and I've killed so many freaking dragons over the course of this game that they get so boring now. But there's actually a reference in the Soul Cairn, and you will see this. There's a reference to kind of the cliff racers in Morrowind and how annoying they were, and how the dragons are kind of an analogy for the cliff racers. I thought that was interesting because this guy's talking about Morrowind. I still have hopes that there's going to be an expansion, a Dark Elf expansion, maybe, that we can go into part of Morrowind, kind of like Mournhold in the expansion. I think that would be really awesome. That'd be really cool. I'd be all down for it. Actually, any excuse to go back to Morrowind would be awesome in my book.
So, is it Riften or Riftan? This place has changed its name so many times.
God, I hate that guy. Those guys. I need to get a plugin or something to make the guards stop spouting all this crap, because they go on and on and on.
Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Divine smile on you, friend.
So I think right now I'm looking for somebody to feed on. This is a persistent problem that I've had. Being a vampire, I had a mod and plugin, and I could provide a link for it if anybody wants it. But I have a plugin before that lets you bottle your human blood that you can drink, and that was really awesome, because then I could kind of stockpile up blood and drink it at my, when I needed to, and I wouldn't be blood starved when I ran into a town. Unfortunately, I disabled that plugin upon starting Dawnguard, because I was worried that it was going to interfere with maybe the system that Dawnguard had. I didn't know what the changes they were going to make with vampirism, and I didn't want to have any of my plugins conflict with that or break quests or whatever. And what is this guy talking about? Crazy guy. Anyway, the system in Dawnguard is pretty cool. They have bottled blood potions that you can get in the castle. that will count as feeding, which is really good. But I think the best part about vampirism, I'm gonna lay this down right now, is definitely the ability to not be attacked on sight for being blood starved. What they've really done with Dawnguard, in a nutshell, is they've turned vampirism into what they should have done, probably in Oblivion, where they've made it as like a full-blown thing. It's a full-blown perk tree. It's a full-blown thing, just like werewolfism, lycanthropy, whatever. They've turned it into a real thing, so it's not just a stat boost and some downgrades, some negative things like being afraid of sunlight and stuff. So, which is really awesome. It's really awesome that they've done that, and they've made it now so that you aren't attacked on sight when you're blood starved, and so that makes actually playing as a vampire a viable option. Like, a lot of people I know will not play as a vampire just because it seems kind of broken. Just the way that if you forget to feed, or you can't find someone to feed, you become blood starved and you have to essentially stay away from towns and whatever, or use an invisibility to sneak in and hope that you can find somebody sleeping. I'm telling you, and you're gonna see this right now. I have so much trouble finding sleeping people in this town. Nobody sleeps in Skyrim. I cannot find sleeping people. I can't find people that are in day-night cycles. Like, I'd go into somebody's house, I'd wait till like 3 a.m. and they'd be still awake. They'd be reading, they'd be cooking, whatever. I think just the way the AI is set up, that the system that they have in place just doesn't work. The vampire before Dawnguard just didn't work, because they had this. I realized they had this concept that you would essentially sneak around from house to house and you drink people's blood, which is essentially what you did in Daggerfall. In Daggerfall, when you were a vampire, you could sneak into people's houses. I don't think you could attack people in their houses, but you had to feed on people regularly, and there was a stealth element to it. I know that the developers intended for people to do it that way, and I know that they wanted people to kind of sneak from house to house and feed on people while they were sleeping. But the AI just makes it so that it's more trouble than it's worth, and it's just not worth it. And I'm still like a nugget. I'm running around looking for someone to feed on, and just because of the way the blood starved system is, I had no idea that you weren't going to be attacked when you were blood starved. And I wish that I had read up a little bit, but this is a completely cold playthrough. This is a cold playthrough. I didn't really watch any. I purposely avoided watching people's playthroughs, and I did not get spoilers. So this was just a cold playthrough. I had no idea really what I was doing or getting into. So if I had done a little bit more research, I would have found the changes that they had done, and I would not have worried about trying to find somebody to feed on. But I spend a good I think the rest of this episode looking for somebody to feed on, and eventually I do find somebody, but and I actually dropped a whole bunch of money on Breeze Home. I think I now own a house in every hold, which is really cool, but really expensive. And it's also put me back quite a bit in terms of my trying to get the achievement for having 1,000,000 gold or 100,000 gold. Because I still want to do that. I still want to get that achievement. Now, as you can see, I'm level 30 when I start Dawnguard, and you can start it at, I think, level 10 if you are so inclined. It all scales to your level, so it's going to be as challenging or easy as you are leveled. So basically, I'm just going to lay it out here for you. If you are really high level, you're going to find some really challenging things, but a lot of it's going to be really easy, and I kind of steamrolled through a lot of the game Not because necessarily I was cheating, but I don't know if being overleveled for the content is really my fault, but there are some challenging parts, let's put it this way. But for the most part, a lot of the humanoid enemies are not scaled to your level. The Dawnguard were. A lot of the monsters were, and the Soul Cairn were pretty difficult, and I got my ass handed to me a couple times. But other than that, the game is very awesome. It is a mix of kind of easy and challenging and looting, and I like that. I like that it wasn't all crazy, insano difficulty. Now see, I don't know what time it is, but it's late at night, and this lady's still up here cooking food out of a cauldron, and I just this really goes to show you how problematic the vampirism is before they updated it. Now this is what they've updated. They've made it now so that if you cast vampire seduction on somebody, you can actually feed on them while they're awake and standing up, which is really cool. But I found out that it's very hard to aim vampire seduction while in third person. Apparently when your arrow in third person does not necessarily correlate to where your spell is gonna go, and I misfire a couple times. You're gonna see that later on in the later on episodes. But I'm actually impressed because a lot of the loading screens are working. They were not working when I played through later on in the game. The loading screens are just blank, and I wasn't quite sure what to make of that. This game is very buggy. I'm gonna disclaimer. There are a lot of bugs in this game, and I want to say that I think that it was released early. I think it was rushed because all the PC gamers are getting all ticked off about it, and they were complaining, and I think Bethesda just wanted to kind of appease everybody. I feel really bad for you PlayStation 3 guys and gals, because apparently you guys got screwed on both the release of this as well as the bugs. I heard from a couple people that it's just so buggy, like you can't complete quests and things. That sucks. That sucks, and that kind of brings me to a rant, but I'm not going to start it. I'm not going to start it right now, but I will have some thoughts about that. I do think that it's really crappy that Bethesda is playing favorites with people, but I will get into that next episode. Dimhollow Crypt. I'm going to let you guys finish watching this, but Dimhollow Crypt is where you meet the vampire people, and it's really, really cool, and I'm going to let you guys... Here we got a blank loading screen. No, nothing on the loading screen, just fog. But I'm going to let you guys finish watching this. In the next episode, we're going to go through Dimhollow Crypt, Creek, whatever, and we're gonna wreck some vampires and Dawnguard alike. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.
To come in here alone, a fool like all the rest of them.
He fought well. Jed on and press off with no match for him.
Ha! Those two deserve what they got. Their arrogance had become insufferable.
All this talk is making me thirsty. Perhaps another vigilant will wander in soon.
I wish Loki would hurry it up. I have half a mind to return to the castle and tell Harkon what a fool he's entrusted this mission to.
I have half a mind to tell Loki of your disloyalty.
He wouldn't dare. Shut up and keep on watch.